Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight. I'm wearing the glasses inside because before watching the WWE 24 show, I watched American Sniper. I'm not going to make a review on the movie, but I will definitely say go out of your way to check it out. I cried a few times during the movie, to be honest, and that's why I'm wearing the glasses, so nobody will think I cried watching a review of WrestleMania 30. But, alright, WWE kicked off a new show on the WWE Network. It's entitled WWE 24. This was the very first episode. It debuted after Monday Night Raw tonight. Monday Night Raw tonight was canceled due to snowy conditions. They still found a way to put on by showing the Royal Rumble. They showed a few interviews. Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns throughout the show to make people stay tuned in even though they're watching a show that they watched last night. I know a lot of people, by looking at their Twitter feeds, they watched it. I decided that it would be better for me to spend my time doing something else. I noticed that WWE did upload the interviews to their YouTube account, so I will be going over and checking those out later tonight. But I was pumped for this show. Honestly, the first time I heard about it was watching the Royal Rumble when the commercial came on, and I really honestly got chills. It really took me back to WrestleMania 30. Honestly, easily one of the best wrestling trips I have ever been on. Easily, possibly one of the best trips I will ever go on. It will be very hard to top that weekend. I know that they said that this was the very first episode. When I went over and checked out the show, it didn't have a title on it on the WWE Network. It just said WWE 24 Episode 1. So I don't know if this is a WWE 24 just talking about WrestleMania, where every show will be a different segment of stuff about WrestleMania 30, or if they're going to show just 24/7 footage of going to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, Payback, Extreme Rules. I don't know what the rules are for this show, but let me just honestly tell you what's going through my mind right now. I honestly really did like this show. The fact that the show didn't start until after Raw was completely over, which meant this show was only about 30 minutes long. This definitely could have been an hour. If this show is going to be about WrestleMania 30 or WrestleMania weekend. Definitely, they didn't even show the cameras at Access. They focused a lot on the wrestling things in the Hall of Fame. They didn't really show anything from Monday Night Raw. They really need to capture the whole weekend, and they probably should have shown this back in November before WrestleMania tickets went on sale. If I was in charge of this show, I could make half of the people that watch WWE Monday Night Raw, or half the people that have a WWE Network, make sure they get their butts to WrestleMania, because you can really show how much fun they would really have. I don't know why especially with WWE Network, you could be doing anything in the world, why they don't have a reality show based around people traveling to WrestleMania and showing all the things that there are to do. Honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I make the WrestleMania vlogs. I've got 27 the movie, 28 the movie, 30 the movie. We barely rest. I mean, you are on the move almost, I would say, on an average of 19 to 20 hours a day. We were, here, there, and everywhere. I know that they're not going to be able to show WrestleCon. I know that they're not going to be able to show ROH. They're not going to be able to show all those other shows that are out there. But definitely there is just enough WWE things that they could do. They did show a little bit of the community service work that WWE does when they're in town. They showed them building the playground. They showed them bringing Connor over, which was a big, story that came out of WrestleMania with the Connor Fund, and everybody helping him out to enjoy, the last little bit of time that he had with us here, and his family was with him, and he really got to enjoy something. And they play that commercial thing all the time, is that when everybody was looking at Connor, especially his father says that he forgets that he was sick. So that was really, really good stuff. They did show, the beginning segment of WrestleMania 30. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Triple H getting ready. Hogan, I don't know what you're going to do from now on. You've been telling this lie for so long, basically saying that you didn't know that Rock and Austin were coming out. I don't know if you're trying to keep it kayfabe, but you're going to have to change your story up and basically say why you called the Superdome, the Silver Dome. But I honestly thought the whole time that it was a goof up, but I guess you can see from enough angles I really thought that it was sort of built into the script of what they were going to do, that he loved WrestleMania 3 so much that he wished he was still there. But I guess he really did goof it up, and Rock and Austin all made fun of him. It was really cool once they came back through the back. They showed Shawn Michaels greeting the three guys, and having a moment of those four guys being there and basically just putting everybody over. And Shawn was telling all of them that was one of the cool WrestleMania moments, even went as far as to bury the rest of the show by saying, what do you do when the coolest thing of the night is in the opening segment? Basically saying that nothing else on the show is going to matter. But of course, from there, you've got Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker, defeating the Streak. They didn't really play up on that as much as I thought they would. They definitely did show Vince McMahon coming out of the gorilla position, yelling to the back that they need some help out there. Everybody's heard the story about Undertaker leaving in the ambulance. And from there, basically, we saw Michael P.S. Hayes. We saw Robot John Cena walking into the back. We saw one girl standing next to the gorilla position give no fucks to what is going on. Honestly, if that was like a burning building, that lady probably looks so bad right now. She didn't move out of the way to let people in. She didn't move to try and help what was going on behind that situation. Vince didn't say what he needed help with. That lady gave no fucks, and she just wasn't moving from there. I know that we've already seen a lot from the Ultimate Warrior documentary that came out after WrestleMania, the Daniel Bryan documentary that came out about WrestleMania. We did see a little bit from them, basically him, getting ready to prepare his Hall of Fame speech, greeting Linda, going through the walkthrough. Daniel Bryan, of course, was getting ready for the biggest night of his life. They didn't really talk about the Triple H match that much. We did see Triple H getting ready, basically saying that Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and we're getting ready for getting ready for WrestleMania 30. Taylor Bliss, Alexa Bliss. Fuck me, she's my favorite chick in NXT. I fucked her name up, but basically, they said they didn't even know until Thursday that they were going to be doing this, and they looked jazzed. They really looked pumped. They showed Rick in the back. Rick started crying because his daughter had made the main stage, and even Triple H said, we did this. They could have gone out and they could have hired models, but they did this to show the girls what it's like to work in front of 70,000, and that's going to push them to get better. Daniel Bryan talked about one of the biggest hardships that it was on him that whole weekend was that basically, he had to go out and finish out WrestleMania 30 by winning the championship. I think we all know that he knew he was going to do that when he went out there, but he had to follow one of the biggest heartbreaking things to happen of all WrestleMania 30 weekend, and that was Undertaker losing. You can honestly see that it took the life out of that arena that night. And I've always talked about this. Daniel Bryan won the championship. That's what everybody went to WrestleMania for. That's what everybody was pumped up for. It was one of the biggest stories in wrestling last year. The yes movement, pushing Daniel Bryan, even though he lost the Royal Rumble, into the main event by beating Triple H at WrestleMania 30. We were all yesing. We were all going crazy. They blew the confetti all over the Superdome down there in New Orleans. But when we walked out and we started walking to our hotel, we weren't the only ones. I'm not talking about me and my group of, Ravi, Jade, Justin, Victor ended up, joining us for the walk back to the hotel as well. But the place was dead. Like it honestly felt like a funeral procession, a funeral march. It almost felt like we were coming home from a funeral, like a Taker died in there. Nobody was really talking that much. Nobody was really pumped. I don't know if, one of the things that I always think about on Saturday nights, normally it's after the Hall of Fame when you're winding down and you're going to bed, and you really feel like you just got to WrestleMania. But you're like, fuck, WrestleMania is tomorrow. I'm not ready for this. I need this, this trip to last longer. I only get to see my buddies. I only see Ravi once a year. I've been lucky enough, Miguel and me have ran into each other 2 or 3 times a year, sometimes on average, from, going to SummerSlam or going to Bound for Glory. And these are guys that I consider some of my best friends in the world. They might live on the internet, but they're only a text away, and I text those guys all the time. I'm going to text them right now. I'm gonna say hi, and Very unprofessional of me, but they'll know that when they watch this video. That was a text I sent them. But I love those dudes, and that is what brought me back to WrestleMania 30. The 24 series, I want to know where they go from here. I'm hoping that it's not like WWE Rivals, where they upload it whenever they feel like it. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot like Monday Night War or the WrestleMania Rewind, where it was every Thursday or every Monday, and you knew to tune in or go to the on-demand section and you can check it out, because this was a fun show. All access, behind the stage, revealing what goes on behind the curtain, and in a better way than Total Divas is. So make sure you go anywhere to check this out. If you cancel the WWE Network because Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, I won't tell anybody if you sign back up, because if you don't sign up, you missed a damn good show. I know that Fastlane's coming up around the corner. It doesn't look like it's going to be that great. But after that's the big one, the granddaddy of them all. And you want to say that you missed WrestleMania 31 for $10 because you were pissed that Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble? Come on, people. This is not the worst thing that we've ever seen. I know I'm combining two videos here, but the WWE Network hit a home run tonight. This 24 show, even though it's a half hour, was really good, and they can probably improve on this and do things a lot better. Whether if they're showing more events from WrestleMania, definitely showing access, showing stuff from Monday Night Raw, from the people going out to eat, and all sorts of things. If it's going to be about Monday Night Raw, talking about the travel. Basically, some guys work Raw and then they turn around and work SmackDown. So the second they're done with their match, they got to go in the back and they got to change. They got to get in their rental car and they got to drive a couple hundred miles to get from one town to the next. Whether if they're going from Sacramento to Las Vegas, or if they're going from Chicago to Milwaukee, or wherever it's going to be. Lots of fun stories that they could be telling about what's going down. Show what goes on in the Vince jet when they're flying around and he's trying to rewrite the show at the last minute. Lots of fun things. I want to see it all. I'm glad they did this. Peace out, everybody. Have a good night.